the ravaging, the bleeding of the people, the ravaging of communities, the destructions of lives and properties done by these Fulani terrorists, as well as other terrorists from northern part of Nigeria. On record, we witnessed how Boko Haram's murderous regime did everything to legitimize this murderous jihadist through many means of government to try to want to, like, you know, accommodate them. We should learn how to accommodate our killers. Talking about protection, okay, social contract. When the Fulanis, or Fulani terrorists rather, when they ransacked the southern part of Nigeria, and the people started, I mean, their victims started screaming out for help or self-defense. We remember the roles of the northern criminal politicians who did everything to twist the southern part of Nigeria from defending herself. And the effect of that is still pretty much existence to this day. Ajia Najatu, reacting to what happened in Uromi, then picking up on other stuff that happened in the, you know, the timeline of this attack, in quote, attacks on the north. She could do that. But what I probably wish just kind of like exist is to see the, you know, the southerners with a spine, right? Who can indeed throw it on their face and say, listen, if the killing of northerners, as you put it, right, has shown to you clearly that Nigeria can protect them, and therefore your social contract with Nigeria can end now. What about the people of the Middle Belt? What about the people of the southern part of Nigeria? What about the people of the Biafra land, or Oduduwa land, or any land away from the Sahel? What do you think they should be feeling like? Or how do you think they should be feeling? In a country that was supposed to be their country, Abi? Fundamental human rights that gives them the right to existence, the right to, worship or religion, you call it, Abi? Then the right to defend yourself. All of these have been taken away from the people of the southern part of Nigeria, starting from under Boko Haram. You know, it was so bad that, you know, Miyetti Allah, remember them? They were offering to be our vigilantes in Yoruba land. That was how bad it was. And you dare not, okay, well, we did try that, okay, you know what, we are tired. If we are not going to be allowed to protect ourselves or defend ourselves, then let us break up this contraption. No, they don't want to break up because they had the power then. Everybody could go to places. So they are talking about fundamental human rights now because they feel like the rest of Nigeria, that's how they feel, the rest of Nigeria hates them. And she said that they have been holding back their own youth. Mama, what's in your youth go do? Like normal, bros. Waiting your youth could do if you don't talk to them. In this day and time where everybody they mentor, if you touch anybody from northern Nigeria, you also have your own people from southern Nigeria. Gone are the days, like your internet. Gone are the days that it will take days or even weeks before people understand the kind of like attacks or the arson being carried out on innocent people in northern part of Nigeria. You touch anybody in northern Nigeria, alarm go blow from other part of Nigeria too, on your people. Also, I've told you before that Nigeria is a place where people can't wait to kill themselves. And one of the reasons why I have personally been an advocate of peaceful breakup of this contraption, and every lie you've been told, that some of you have kind of like, you know, it's going to be like, oh, you've ruined my childhood. You've ruined my childhood fantasy. Breaking up of Nigeria. No. You have ruined my childhood memory. Papa, only childhood memory. Papa, you are just deceiving yourself. The only memory you have is the memory of, what do you call it? The memory of, backwardness that these guys have foisted on us. peaceful breakup of that contraption means we don't have to, that conditional, what's it called again? Is it called conditional existence? No, conditional love. And that is, where people just try to pretend to like you for a certain reason, right? So some say that if there is no oil and gas in the south, if the crude oil and the gas that's currently, exists in abundance in the southern part of Nigeria, if it was to be in the northern part of Nigeria, they would have broken up Nigeria since. Yeah. You would have had the southern Nigeria, northern Nigeria. They would have been two countries by now, at least. So the condition of us existing together because of this one fake Nigeria is because of the prosperity of the South. As much as some of them feels like, well, they also have something that could make them decent. It doesn't matter. What happened is that the reason why they didn't want to break up before now was because, the theory of, rich wife and the poor husband, jobless, lazy husband. So the poor husband is the north and the rich wife is the south. In a toxic sort of a marriage where there is no peace, there is no progress. It is just like, So if now they feel like this union is a lie, it's fake, they don't feel safe in that union, that's a good thing. What I just don't understand is dragging the Middle Belt into it. In this year 2025, somebody is still claiming that the northern states have 19, northern Nigeria have 19 states. That is not true. The same Fulani terrorists that are wreaking havoc in every part of Nigeria today, they have burned and killed in the Middle Belt part of Nigeria, that you'll be wondering, why are you killing northerners? None of these guys came out to say, why are the Fulani terrorists killing northerners? No. But like I said, when it is politically convenient, there are 19 states in northern Nigeria. But whenever it is the supremacy battle time, they will let you know that the Middle Beltans are infidels. Infidels. We are trying to save them, and those ones that cannot be saved by converting to their Islam will be slaughtered. What is Dalong doing there? Oh, you're going to hear that. Ajia, finish what you are saying so that everybody can understand and we can begin the process of when are we going to start it? The breakup of Nigeria.
While we still appeal to our youth for restraint, this time we shall keep our fingers crossed and mount a sentinel to monitor the investigation promised and the prosecution of those arrested and the payment of the compensation to the families of those who lost their lives. Because the people they elected failed to live up to the oath of office to the tenets of the Constitution. Thank you.
Internal crisis from the north here has led to we northerners, I'm also from the north, being disrespected over there. Our activities, how we go about them, we see in Zamfara, for example, Muslim versus Muslims, Fulanis versus Hausas, Fulanis versus Fulanis, Hausas versus Hausas, the kidnapping, the senseless killings. We see what happened in Jos, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, in Plateau State, where about 11 people were killed. We also saw the example of, let's say, what happened to Deborah, which has caused a lot of reactions on the way Deborah died. So how do we get to address these issues? Can you come together and do something more elaborate on this, on the internal crisis we have in the north in the first place? Before we think of, we understand that the national level is there, the government has to do something because they are the government. It's their sole responsibility to protect the people, to make sure that this does not happen again. But how do we address that, the internal crisis we have in this north here? Thank you.
Your name and address. Your name?
Please.
My name is Ivan Magoni. I work with iAfrica team.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think you raised a very germane and a fundamental issue. But let me enlighten you that the group of concerned Northerners had been involved in stimulating conversation in the North as to how to deal with a plethora of these challenges. And this effort indeed yielded positive results when the Northern governors and the traditional rulers met in Kaduna and took far-reaching decisions as to how to deal with these issues. But don't forget that national security lies within the constitutional purview of the national government. Therefore, all subnational efforts mobilized to deal with this issue goes to nothing if there is no refined cooperation flowing from the federal government to complement this. And this is where the 19 northern states today face as challenges.
And FCT.
And yes, and FCT face as challenges. You made references to some of the horrific killings that are ongoing or took place within the North, which as a people, as at when they happen, we came out, we condemn. Not only condemning, we have also taken steps to ensure that we deal with the issue of the infiltration of northern community by sponsoring political disagreement and sometimes religious disagreement just to sustain this narrative that, oh, it's not well with the North, and so the North should not complain about what is happening. And this is why we are here today, to make a categorical statement that when you sight a snake in your house and suddenly the snake disappears, you are not going to embark on massive destruction of the house because you want to find a snake. You will have to be calm to create a decoy of a peaceful environment for the snake to emerge so that you can deal with it. That is not to say when an arsonist approaches your house with a gallon of petrol, you will pretend that you are dealing with the snake question, and so your house will be set ablaze. So the North, with what has happened in Edo, we have made references to these killings, and to us in the North, it's already a pattern. And that's why we conclude by saying that all these sum up together raise the fundamental national question, which we have put it now at the doorstep of the federal government to consider it. Well, what I have basically put across is that we are appealing to the youth, the restive youth in the North, who by virtue of what has happened in Uromi are calling for reprisal. And I stated that the mere fact that all of us seated here are supposed to be in our comfort zone, celebrating Salah with our families, but we are here gathered in Abuja, convey how we appreciate how serious this issue is. And we're saying that this is not just mere normal press briefing. We're going to back up whatever we have stated here with action. We're going to deliver a letter thereafter to the Edo State Government Lodge to be conveyed to the governor about what we expect of this situation. A very transparent investigation. The suspect should be paraded because the suspect had also identified themselves by the videos they produced and sent online. So they are known. We're saying that this transparent investigation will lead to accountability. And that in the final analysis, Edo State government will have to pay compensation for the lives of these 16 innocent people that died in transit. And we are saying that our people should consider what has happened as a challenge to our faith and
nuisance leleyi.
Sheng Bowiri. Did you see how he stylishly avoided commenting like strongly on the ongoing killings in Plateau State, where he came from, or the Middle Belt killings, where he is also from? Then he went on to demand for compensation. And we are all making our statement known now. We are trying to tell our people, our youth, not to retaliate yet. But we want you to know that you have to pay compensation. You also have to parade all these people, like other condition for Edo State. So if Edo State doesn't parade these people, and even though Okwe Odoyo had already promised that he was going to parade them, and he was also going to pay compensation, no amount is put on it. Okay. Again, I am not against empathizing, sympathizing with the unfortunate 16, traveling hunters. I empathize with them, and indeed, if this is how it's going to be, then it should be like what is good for the goose should also be very good for the gander. It simply means that if the government indeed feels like they are responsible for their failure to protect the Nigerians who have come under different attacks, including the endless Fulani terrorist attack across Nigeria, pay compensation, return people back to their own ancestral homes. People living in IDP camps, they were put there by the Fulani terrorists as well as the Boko Haram terrorists. These are the two prominent terrorists in Nigeria, terror group in Nigeria. Okay, more than that. ISWAP, Boko Haram, Fulani terrorists, Lakurawa terrorists, Nigerian army terrorists, Nigeria police terrorists, and how many others? I think, the official and unofficial ones, sure. But it will make sense. Wouldn't it make sense if all of us now pressure and make those in charge of government to arrest culprits who perpetrate acts of terrorism on our people? Not only should they be arrested, right? They must be paraded, and their victims must be compensated. Shouldn't that be the norm? Like if you have to listen to this, what do you call it? You have to listen to these clowns in Edo State. They are trying their best to change the entire narrative as well. Yeah? And some people are claiming that, no, they are not Hausa, they are Fulani. Others are saying, no, they are Hausa, no, they are not hunters. They are not, people are like having different, their own different views based on their own biases, Abi. But the most shocking one is coming from the, I can't remember his name, but you will hear his name, right? He is the APC, Ebekebe chairman in Edo State. On top this Uromi matter, the APC chairman in Edo State said, na PDP killed those people. According to him, majority of you are thinking they were killed by mob, Abi. No. It was PDP. They organized it. They killed those people in Edo so that Tifnubu will declare state of emergency. Edo State will become ungovernable for Okwe Odoyo because PDP lost power. I'm not joking. I actually said that.
In their favor.
We saw that mayhem in Uromi, and it is clear that it was an act orchestrated and carried out by the PDP. That you even saw about Obaze when he started making insinuations in his interviews, where he clearly said that the people of Uromi had to come out to attack the kidnappers, maim the kidnappers because Monday Okpebholo failed to provide security.
He called on security agencies to immediately arrest the PDP chairman, Tony Azegbemi, and other stakeholders for treasonable acts.
I urge the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to liaise with embassies in countries where these PDP members reside and request their extradition for prosecution. Terrorism, a violent attack against the peace of our nation, cannot and will not be tolerated.
All efforts to reach the Edo PDP chairman, Tony Azegbemi, proved abortive as he neither picked a call placed to him nor respond to message requesting his response in their favor.
We saw that mayhem in Uromi, and it...
You hear that? Something strange just happened. There were